Welcome back today. We're diving deep into the latest market movements and technical updates surrounding MONAD, ticker MON. If you've been following MON recently, you know the token has been on a roller coaster ride, with strong rallies, technical breakouts, and some headwinds creating a mixed picture for traders and investors alike. In this video, we're going to break down everything you need to know about MON's current market dynamics. We'll cover the recent profit-taking behavior, technical patterns, derivatives market activity, airdrop-related selling, and the token's ecosystem progress. By the end, you'll have a clear picture of the key price levels to watch, the market forces at play, and what might be coming next for MON. So grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's get into it. This is not financial advice. Please do your own research before making any decision. Last week, MON surged about 32%, marking a significant recovery after a period of consolidation. The token successfully broke out from a falling wedge pattern, a classic technical setup often signaling a potential reversal, and managed to reclaim support around the 0.022 level. However, despite this impressive upswing, the market quickly saw a short-term pullback within the next 24 hours. This is a very typical reaction in markets following strong rallies, especially when prices approach key Fibonacci resistance levels, in this case around $0.023. So what's happening here? Essentially, traders who are more focused on short-term gains tend to liquidate their positions when technical resistance levels are tested. This creates temporary downward pressure on the price. Even though MON's 7-day trend appears bullish, its 30-day performance still reflects a 42.43% drop from previous highs. This suggests that, despite recent rallies, the underlying momentum is relatively weak. Key takeaway? Short-term traders are actively taking profits near resistance, and MON's price movements remain susceptible to pullbacks unless there's sustained buying pressure above key levels. Now, let's talk about the derivatives market. Open interest, OI, in MON's futures markets has fallen by roughly 17% during the rally. This is an interesting dynamic because it's happening while spot prices are moving higher. Why does this matter? Low open interest during a rally often signals that traders are cautious about leveraging the upward move. It's a sign that while prices may be increasing in the spot market, traders aren't fully confident in the sustainability of the rally. On the positive side, lower OI reduces the risk of cascading liquidations, which can prevent sharp downward spirals if sentiment suddenly shifts. In simpler terms, it's like investors are testing the waters. They're willing to let prices rise, but they're not committing large amounts of capital in leveraged positions, which shows that some skepticism persists about whether the rally can continue. Key takeaway: the derivatives market reflects cautious optimism, and MON's price could face volatility if confidence doesn't strengthen. Another factor influencing MON's recent price movements is the impact of airdrop-related selling. In November of 2025, 3.33 billion MON tokens, around 3.3% of the total supply, were distributed via an airdrop. On-chain data now shows recipients gradually selling portions of these tokens. A notable instance occurred on December 26 when approximately $300,000 worth of profits were realized. Airdrops are designed to incentivize adoption and reward early supporters, but they also create structural sell pressure. Whenever prices rise, recipients often take advantage of the opportunity to cash out. This introduces consistent liquidity into the market, which can prevent prices from moving upward as quickly as they might otherwise. It's important to note that this overhang is long-term. With a significant portion of MON's supply gradually unlocking over the next few years, selling pressure could persist intermittently until around 2029. Key takeaway: airdrop-related selling is a structural headwind that can cap price gains in the short term, even during bullish rallies. While there are short-term pressures, MON has shown some bullish technical signals. On December 25th, MON broke above its 7-day simple moving average, SMA, at $0.203 and exited a falling wedge pattern, a setup commonly interpreted by traders as a bullish reversal. Supporting this technical optimism, the MACD histogram turned positive, confirming that upward momentum was gaining traction. Traders likely saw this as a signal to enter positions, especially after MON successfully reclaimed $0.022 support. Looking ahead, the next notable resistance level sits at the 23.6% Fibonacci retracement near $0.041. Sustained closes above $0.02.4 could confirm strengthening bullish momentum. Failure to hold $0.0222 support might trigger a retest of December's lows near $0.01.7. Key takeaway: technical indicators point to a potential upside, but MON still faces resistance that must be overcome for a sustained rally. Beyond price action, Monad's ecosystem developments are increasingly influencing market sentiment. The Monad Momentum Grant Program, launched on December 25th, provides funding and resources to developers building EVM-compatible decentralized applications, DApps. In just 2 weeks, over $100 million flowed into ecosystem projects, reflecting strong interest and adoption. Why does this matter for traders? Grants and developer incentives reduce the risk of a ghost chain, a network that exists but lacks real-world utility. Increased developer activity correlates with higher transaction volumes. Testnet activity hit 1.6 million transactions per day, representing a 12% weekly increase. Key takeaway: the ecosystem is expanding, which supports long-term network value. Traders should watch Q1 2026 for mainnet launch progress and DApp deployment rates. Another positive development is the integration of USD1 stablecoin, completed on December 19th. This integration has improved DeFi liquidity, enabling deeper markets and more robust trading. Meanwhile, exchange staking programs have locked roughly 15% of circulating MON supply, reducing short-term selling pressure. However, derivatives open interest remains low, suggesting that traders are still cautious about the rally's sustainability. While liquidity and staking create support, macro-level caution in the crypto market continues to cap gains. Key takeaway: deeper liquidity and staking programs are positive for price stability, but broader market sentiment still dictates MON's near-term trajectory. Looking at broader market indicators, the CMC Fear and Greed Index currently sits at 27, reflecting a risk-averse market. Bitcoin's performance year-to-date 6% also plays a role in influencing altcoins like MON. This interplay between ecosystem growth, technical patterns, and macro conditions means that even with positive developments, MON faces headwinds from both sentiment and external market forces. Traders need to monitor key macro events such as the FOMC minutes, as interest rate changes can significantly impact liquidity in the crypto sector. Key takeaway: macro conditions and Bitcoin performance will influence MON's short-term price action, even if technicals and ecosystem growth are positive. To wrap it all up, Monad recent dip is influenced by profit-taking, airdrop-related selling, and cautious derivatives positioning. Technical signals suggest potential bullish momentum, but price must hold above $0.0222 support and close sustainably above $0.02.4 to confirm strength. Ecosystem developments such as the Momentum Grant Program and mainnet preparations provide fundamental support for long-term growth. Liquidity improvements via stablecoin integration and staking help reduce sell pressure. Macro crypto sentiment, Bitcoin performance, and market-wide risk aversion continue to cap upside. Critical levels to watch: support $0.02.1, $0.0222, resistance $0.02.4, $0.04.1. Breakdown below support could see retests of December lows near $0.01.7. Sustained bullish momentum requires daily closes above $0.02.4. In conclusion, MON sits at a crossroads. There's cautious optimism from technical breakouts and ecosystem activity, but structural selling, macro conditions, and market sentiment could create headwinds. Traders and investors should watch price action closely over the coming days and weeks to identify whether bullish trends can continue or if the token will face further pressure. Thanks for watching. Hit like and subscribe for more daily crypto insights. Catch you in the next one. Stay crypto smart.